games, and if you also feel the same, he's got you covered.
Yes, he does.
He's got you covered. There's a persistent rumor that he holds a Tetris high score at the laundromat next to the convenience store. Now Controllerhead is here to talk all about the games that you revere. Now here's Controllerhead.
If you're watching this, you probably remember the masterpiece that was Tiny Toons. It was a 90s staple for preteens, tweens, teens, and the like. It took classic Warner Brothers properties and modernized them properly. Whether it was the association with the film titan Steven Spielberg or the random musical spattering of a hit music like They Might Be Giants, the show captured a generation. And as you know, anything that manages to captivate the youngins is a virtual goldmine in licensed tie-ins, especially in the way of video games. Tiny Toons is one such franchise, and today I'll be talking about Tiny Toon's Adventure, Babs' Big Break on the Game Boy. Developed and published by Konami in 1992, the game was the first of several Tiny Toons games to hit handhelds. So with that, let's put on our nostalgia glasses and tear into this bad boy.
Story.
The game has kind of a strange story, in my opinion, which is told through a pretty nice-looking cutscene at the beginning. Babs dreams of becoming a star and gaining courage, intelligence, and power. Yeah, because that's why people go to Hollywood. She says she knows she's a natural at acting, but if she delivers the lines anything like the pacing the Game Boy delivers the intro text, well, she's in trouble. It's so sluggish and has line breaks in awkward places. So her plan is to run off and study acting. As Babs is telling us all about her dreams, Buster, Plucky, and Hampton are in the background, overhearing her plan. And for some reason, Buster looks like some creepy pedo that is oogling his own sister. She'll make a great actress. They apparently don't trust her abilities to travel by herself. After all, she is just a girl. Who knows what she'll do? So they decide to follow her. Well, to be fair, it looks like Hampton's just looking for some food. The game is a standard side-scroller, with pretty decent controls, although I do find the jump to be a bit floaty. The central mechanic in the game is the ability to swap between all three of Babs' stalkers, Buster, Plucky, and Hampton. They all share the same life bar and are basically the same, except they all have varied weapon types. Buster has carrots that are thrown on an arc, Plucky throws bouncing pineapples, and Hampton has watermelons that roll on the ground like a bowling ball. The weapons are limited and are collected throughout the stages. They're really not mandatory in most situations, as you can jump on the baddie's brains a la Mario style. Aside from collecting your fruit weaponry, you can also collect these small hearts, which will refill one heart of your life bar, and these larger hearts, which will add an additional heart to your life bar. There's also this limited invincibility item called the Eye Fill. Collecting gems is also a thing, which can be used in some of the mini-games found throughout the levels. The items are found either loosely throughout the levels, or hidden in these little treasure boxes that you open by jumping on them. As far as mini-games, there's a whack-a-mole type game, where you smack these abnormally large mice, and Montana for a chance at extra lives. There's also a race where you can choose who you're up against. Bookworm, Sweetie, or Little Beeper, where you get an opportunity to blister your fingers tapping the A and B button to win hearts or extra lives. Throughout the game, you will have to find or free other Tiny Toon regulars, like Dizzy, Furball, Fifi, and Shirley the Loon. They will help you pass some barrier to get through the level. You will encounter a boss at the end of each of the 4 stages, which all look pretty cool and are really not much of a challenge. In fact, my first time playing through the game, I had no trouble making it to the end boss, Montana Max. I figure you can beat the game easily in about an hour, which is to the game's credit, as I personally think this is a great length for a handheld game of the time. I mean, you could beat it in the car on the way to Grandma's. As you may know, the Game Boy has super impressive sound, and the music in this game is pretty good. There's a great rendition of the theme song, and a good variety of other tunes, pun intended, as you enter various substages. Overall, I'd say give the game a try. It's not the best thing since sliced bread, but it's pretty good for a licensed game, and I would say dang good for a first Tiny Toons Game Boy game. So keep it real, rockin' the old school, Controllerheads, Audi 5000, 5000G, 5000.